Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello, I'm Hiba, and today I just wanted to tap into and talk about the magic of winter and what kind of magic is supposed to happen at this half of the year. So we're not quite into winter yet, but whenever November rolls around, I always feel what's it called? Almost like the density of this month. Not that there's anything wrong with November or with winter. It is, I believe, a very spiritually in tune time, especially to reconnect with yourself and things you have not been connecting with for other parts of the year. Maybe things you are hiding from or not aware of fully, things that need to be, kind of healed and released. So I actually love winter, but I will say winter is definitely not like the more flashy fun kind of magic. What I channeled from Hecate is when I asked her, what kind of magic should we do for this season? I saw the moon firstly, which, surprise, surprise, but I saw the moon and I saw it reflecting in like a pool of water. It was like a puddle, but it felt more, not a puddle, it was more like a deep pool of deep dark kind of water, and very simply what this image meant was that this is a time of stillness and reflection, but that wasn't the whole message coming through in that image. That was more just like the surface. The moon here represents, or illuminates, I should say, it illuminates the waters within, like that deep pool, and all that is churning in the dark of your spirit. The dark here isn't evil or bad, it's just the waters of your spirit, the waters of you, your powers, your emotions, all that has not been properly released, recognized, or utilized. What this water represents is the energy kind of swirling within. The winter, the coming of the darker and colder months, brings out these hidden aspects of ourselves. What is usually swirling within could be stagnant emotions or just simply trapped energy that needs to be kind of released, as I've said before. Tuning into the magic of winter is giving full permission for anything trapped to be brought up to you, no matter how painful it is, to be recognized and released, the thing I've been saying a lot in this video, and just fully tuning into the inner world. When it comes to winter, I feel like the focus is less on external manifestations and a refocus in on the inner temple, the inner world, and to clear out that inner world so that you are prepared for the next season. The magic to be found in winter is fully releasing into this process, giving in to the densities that come up, like giving in to feeling them and not pushing them away, and not running away from what lingers in the waters of your spirit. Embrace it, face it, and by the time spring rolls around, there will be space for new visions, new pathways, new manifestations, and gifts to reveal themselves and to grow. Winter is necessary in order to sow the seeds for the next cycle, especially when it comes to manifestation. You will really supercharge your own power by taking the time to reconnect with your inner world. I feel like winter is the least enjoyable magical energy for most people because it's so wrapped up in this death energy, literally like acceptance and grieving and then releasing what is no longer here, what is no longer serving you. But that is precisely why it's worth it. And Saturn, if you do this work, I really feel like Saturn rewards people who do things that are hard. Saturn, I don't think is very involved in the inner world so much, but it is involved in rewarding hard work. And if it's hard for you to go within, it's hard for you to sit with yourself, then that is exactly what you need to do. But this wouldn't be a video about magic if I didn't give some kind of ritual that you can do, or magical spell or practice. So before I get into that, I just want to say magic can be very simple. You don't need to have anything super fancy or expensive if you don't want to, or if you don't have access to that. Don't let that be a barrier to you getting in touch with your, witchiness if that connects with you. But when I was asking Hecate, I was getting a bits of lots of things, and I think there will be videos in the future for other types of rituals to do in this kind of wintry realm. But the first thing that I'm getting is kind of the first step in the reflection process, which is just opening up to being aware of what it is that you should be aware of that is coming up for you, or that will come up, or needs to come up, that needs to be released, just so you know what it is. And then you can start that process. So what I saw was having some kind of mirror, like if it's not literally a mirror, it can be a reflective, and I was feeling like a silvery colored, if you have that object that's just reflective. It doesn't have to be super reflective if you don't have anything like that's exactly a mirror, but something that's silvery or like reflective. You'd have that at your workspace, your altar. Then you would take a chalice of some kind. You can kind of anoint anything to be a chalice in your spiritual workings. A silver one would be great, but obviously if you don't have access to a silver chalice, me neither, then other forms of like silvery metals is what I'm getting. And I'm also getting like not iron though, but I don't know where you would get an iron chalice anyway. So iron is really great, but I don't feel like this is the practice. Like it energetically isn't the right match for this practice. But yeah, if you find something kind of silvery looking, that should be good. If not, that's okay. But yeah, you have the chalice and you put it over the mirror, and usually I would suggest using river water, but for this practice, I would say just use water that you know is safe and clean. You will be putting this water into the chalice. You also should put rosemary and or pine, like a few needles in it. And that's really it. You don't have to put anything else. It's kind of what I channeled. Remember to kind of open, when you're opening your space and you do your ritual, remember to close it afterwards. But for the actual ritual itself, what you do is you kind of look into the pool of water and speak to it. Speak to it, asking that it helps reveal to you, in line with your highest good, anything that is swimming below the surface of your awareness that needs to come out to be recognized, released, and or properly utilized. You say that, or whatever version of that that's coming up for you, to the water. Speak it into the water. And you can have your own special incantations that you add to it. Like, this practice doesn't have to be, you must do this, you must do this, and you must do this. Magic is fun that way. You can trust yourself for what feels right and what feels magically aligned to you and what you're doing. So I don't want to take that away from you, but I will share some things I enjoy doing. I enjoy also speaking light language or soul language into the water as well, to kind of encode that into the spell. But the important practice about this is gazing. Like, if you can just gaze into, if not your whole face, depending how big the chalice is, just like your eyes. And like meditate there for a little bit. It doesn't have to be that long, but meditate there after you said your incantation, and imagine your heart opening the floodgates, and imagine all that water coming out of your spirit, flowing out of you. So you meditate with that, and then afterwards you can close the space, thank your guides, thank the universe, Mother Gaia, the water, your tools. Thank your tools. You really should. Then with the water afterwards, I was channeling what to do with it, because sometimes you throw it out, sometimes you give it to the earth, and like you can give it to the earth, but the reason I was feeling that maybe don't use river water this time is because it feels like you should use the water next time you're cleaning yourself. So next time you're in the shower, you can just dump that on your head. I would suggest taking some of it and like massaging your third eye, massaging specific chakras that you feel called to with it, and then just bathing with the rest of the water to like add to that clearing out and cleansing and bringing out process. So that's just the little spell I channeled for the first stage of kind of that winter process, which is the coming to awareness and starting to open to what needs to flow out. But yeah, that's what I channeled for the winter season. I hope this is helpful to you in your journey. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for checking out the video. If you're new here, maybe consider subscribing if you're into videos like this, spiritual content like this, or meditation, soul language, and I sometimes post my art here as well. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you again. See ya.